All right. Well, welcome, team. Today is January 28th. It is hard to believe it is almost the end of the first month of 2019. And I actually want to ask you guys to go into the chat bar. I want to hear about the good things that are happening in your businesses. What are you really, really proud of? What are the great things that you guys have accomplished? What are some things that you're working on, whether it's your fitness or it's your business? I want to hear what we can kind of shout you out for. Big, small, doesn't matter. We want to hear from you. So I want to know what's going on, all the good stuff that's happening. So go ahead and start that chat. I want to hear from you guys. So tonight, while you guys are getting started and while you're in the chat bar, I am so excited to be hosting this call with Lindsay, Maloney, and Leisel. And Leisel, there are two last names for you, so I want to know which one to say. Can you tell us which one you prefer?
Okay, so technically Zabo is my married name, but I have just not pulled the plug in the Beachbody world to change my name. It's like changing your name like on your social security card. It's like a lot of work, so I haven't done it yet. But Zabo.
Okay, so Leisel Zabo is here as well. And they are cousins, and they are also success partners. And this year, they are both new elite coaches. So congratulations on that huge accomplishment. And I'm so excited because at Super Saturday, they really shared a little bit of their story on how they kind of work together to actually make it happen. And they are 100% convinced that if they hadn't had partnered up, it probably wasn't going to happen. So they're going to really, really talk about the power of speaking truth into your future, and also or speaking the present into what's to come, and also just working with somebody who is rooting for you and who's going to push you even when you don't feel like being pushed. So they are on tonight. But before we dive into that, let's actually, let me do this real quick. Let me screen share. I want to just go over a couple of shout outs and a couple of things that I kind of want to talk about for just 2 minutes, and then we'll get into that. Is number one, Team Cup is coming up. So I'm like, hi, is anyone here? You guys want to chat to me? I feel like I'm all alone. So first of all, Team Cup, guys, get on a team. If you are serious about wanting to build your business, if you are serious about just wanting to work with other people who are going to encourage you and inspire you along the way, partner up with a Team Cup. And if you have not read the information, go into your Coach Online office, look at what it is, and then just either message me, tag someone in the team page, ask people if they have a team. We will find you a team to be on. But Team Cup is just that really, really great opportunity to just build momentum in your organization. So I really want to make sure that you guys are getting onto a Team Cup. If you're nervous about it, it is okay. It is 100% normal to be a little bit nervous about doing something like this. And that's usually a good sign. When you're a little outside your comfort zone, that's where you're going to see growth. All right. Then also, just a heads up, the refresh promo, that's actually happening. It ends on Thursday. So that challenge pack is $140. The actual kit itself is 10% off right now. That's going to end at the end of this month. So make sure that you send that out as a blast, as you know, for your people who maybe were interested in it or had questions about it. Give them a little follow-up message. Let them know that the last day that they can take advantage of this price is this Thursday, okay? And then I don't know if you guys saw it in the team page, and Megan, I think I shared it with you, but I don't know if you put it in your team page yet. But this is the 26 days of coaching challenge. So Megan and I were talking, and our recruitment numbers this week, we had 13 members added into One Fit Fam, and we had 12 members added into the Knockout Brigade. These numbers are good, but I also really want to challenge you and encourage you to ask yourself, do you look at the recruitment side the same way you look at the Success Club side? So when we look at Success Club in terms of having that baseline, we know that SC6 is the foundation of our business. Do we also have a recruitment baseline? Now, if you are coming into this and wanting to actually build this as a business, you have to recruit. And it's not a naughty word. It's not a bad word. Recruitment doesn't have to feel icky when you truly understand the potential of what this can be. But if we aren't really putting it out there consistently, people are probably not recognizing that it's something that they too can do. So we created this 26 days of coaching challenge, and all you need to do is there are 26 different ways for you to basically talk about what coaching is. And for some of us, we might have to tweak it a little bit. Maybe if one of the things you were asked to talk about is the incentive of the trip and you're not going on the trip, you can find creative ways to still talk about the trip. If you're going next year, or watching people get excited about the trip, acknowledging that it's something that can be earned. Just like income too. You know, I think we underestimate that everything needs to be celebrated. I got a message from a coach. She's brand new. She got her first commission check. She sold a 1-year Beachbody On-Demand membership, and she was so excited about that very, very first paycheck. Was it a huge paycheck? No, but was it something that needs to be celebrated? Absolutely. And it's also an opportunity for people to start talking about it. So over the next 26 days, I want you to ask yourself, number one, do I actually have a baseline for the number of people that I am personally bringing in a month? Or am I just kind of crossing my fingers hoping that something does work out? And a lot of times the people that do sign up as coaches, they are already our challengers, but they're still seeing what you are posting. So when I talk about that consistency piece, if we're only talking about coaching once a week or only 1 week out of the month, we're not talking about it enough. So this 26 days of coaching challenge is really focused on helping us find the content that we can talk about. For me, I am taking this challenge. I already have seen the shift of when I talk about coaching and the recruitment that I personally do. So I have my baseline goal of number of people that I want to bring in every month, but I also know to hit that number, I need to consistently talk about it. Now, just a full disclosure, you might talk about it for 2 weeks and not hear anything, not hear a peep. And then after 2 weeks or 3 weeks, you might start getting people to comment or ask those questions. So you have to keep pumping that well. You can't just put it out there and expect after one post that people are going to be knocking at your door. It's a consistent action. So I am encouraging all of you guys to start checking off the boxes. Every time you put a check mark, every time you X something out, I will randomly start calling winners of people who have done certain posts so far. So as long as you have your tracker and can show that, you're also going to win some cool swag along the way too. So we're gonna start that. I know that I technically started mine today because it's Monday, but I encourage you guys to pick that up and start that whenever you can. So, all right, so what do we got here? Let me just do this. Okay, how do you talk about coaching when you're not coaching anyone right now? Well, if you're in a challenge group, you talk about it from the standpoint of what you're experiencing as a coach in that group, how you're guiding other challengers within the group, how it's so fun to see the success of certain people within the group. And even if you're not directly coaching someone, when you're in a challenge group, you're really getting your feet wet with what it actually looks like to coach someone. So use it as that practice, that experience. And then the other thing you can do, Crystal, is when I tell my new coaches is when they start, you don't have to come off as the professional. You don't have to come off as I know everything about how to get results, but you do have an upline who has experience. So when I tell them, when you're putting it out there, invite them to your coaches challenge group. Invite them and say, I have the opportunity to invite 3 friends to do this alongside me, and invite them in that way where it's a partnership. It's something that you guys are doing together. So those are just a couple of things to kind of keep in mind. Katie, how is that sheet being tracked? Honestly, I am just Xing it out, and then what we'll do is we will randomly select one topic, and if you have already talked about that topic, we'll just pull a name from the people who have done that. Does that make sense? So if, for example, like share a financial transformation, if I pick that as like today, anyone who has posted and shared a financial transformation, show your tracker below, and then you can be entered to win, basically. Okay. So talk about the coaching community. Yep. Does that make sense? Cool. All right. Did I miss anything else? Here, got it. Can you guys still see the screen share? I don't know. Can you? Okay. And that's really exciting. Kira, congratulations on your first person. And congratulations on Mom joining you. My mom was my first person too. And yay, Michelle, you're rocking it. I'm so proud of you. Very cool, very cool. All right. Anyone else? Big shout outs, big stuff happening this week. Okay, so super big shout out to Megan Blinka is nailing it right now. She is the top in the 2 teams with 28 SC points. And Megan Morrison, congratulations too to you, girl, at 18. These numbers are always reflections of the past Thursday. So if you don't see your name on the board, just know that these are updated weekly. So if you don't see it, don't worry. And if your name is on here, but you've gotten more points since then, just make sure to let us know. We're more than happy to shout you guys out for that. So, all right. So with that being said, I'm going to stop my share. And I'm going to hand it over to Leisel and Lindsay. And ladies, we are ready and so excited to hear from you.
Hey guys, so we are really excited to talk about this because honestly, 2018 was the year of us tag teaming this whole thing. And it's so funny because we've actually been in the game for like 3.5 years, and it took that long for us to actually truly pair up and become successful success partners together. So I don't know about you guys, but for me, success partners always seemed like a unicorn. Like everyone would talk about it and they would say success partner. And I would be jealous because I never truly vibed with people that I tried to pair up with. And you'd have that initial conversation and you get kind of excited, and then it would just fall into this awkward abyss of like, this isn't working. And so we decided that we had to cultivate a success partner relationship, and Leisel and I are cousins. So that comes with like a whole slew of different different things, but I'm going to talk about that a little bit. But we knew we had to have a success partner relationship that was bigger than just saying that we had a success partner. And we had to make it beneficial, and it had to be growth minded. So how do you do that? First of all, you need to find somebody that's like you. And a lot of times they'll say, find your opposite. And I don't think that's true at all, personally, because I need to find someone who thinks the same way, who has the same sense of humor, who also overcomes the same way that I do. And what happened with us was we are literally pretty much the same person, and we got super duper competitive, like to the point where it held us back so badly. We wanted each other to grow, but then we would get mad at each other when we would grow, and it became this like green-eyed monster, like, oh man, like jealousy comparison game. And so we were competing to the point where it held us back. And I think that kind of comes with like family relationships too. So being cousins, you know, we were like, oh my gosh, like she's my coach, but I'm older than her. And it was like this like weird, like who's winning here kind of thing. And so we truly had to decide, and we literally had a conversation one day where we just like cleared our ish up, where we said, listen, I recognize that all we are doing here is competing. And it's almost like we have this invisible thread that we want each other to advance, but only if we're advancing at the same pace. So that shifted into our next transition, and Leisel was going to talk about that.
Yeah, so the moment that we, at least for myself and Lindsay, when we took our envy into making it our evolution is when it like clicked for us. So what I would kind of, if you are somebody who does have a success partner or you are forming a relationship with one, if you ever get into that point where you're just constantly like in that comparison mode, it's so natural for us to be in as women, especially Lindsay and I started our business at the same time, and sometimes that's just how it was. So instead, I would challenge you, and what really worked for us is when we saw each other succeeding, we sent each other love, and we were like, oh my gosh, congratulations, like that was an amazing thing. And then if you are someone who struggles with that green-eyed monster envy thing that Lindsay was kind of talking about, instead of feeling that feeling, turn that and imagine it into you succeeding in the literal exact same way. Like, what would that same success look like for you in your business? And praise them. Just give them the gratitude. And, at the end of the day, guys, we are in an awesome business where we are with these incredible, like-minded women, right? Truly, I don't think there's anybody here or in our business that you're probably associating with that doesn't truly want success for you too. Like, successful people want to help other people become successful. So reach out to that woman that you're looking at in envy or it was a green-eyed monster feeling, and ask her, like, how did you do what you did? Like, really, truly, like, what did you do? Like, congratulations. Tell me, like, how to do what you do. If they're in person, if you can, meet them up for coffee or get on a Zoom call with them and just truly ask them, like, what did it, like, how did you do it? And create this awesome new vibe with each other instead of like just turning away. And I think that is what really truly helped us shine through to our greatest potential in the year. So Lindsay, do you want to kind of take from there and tell them exactly how we did that?
Yes. So when it came to finally deciding that we were going to ask each other how we were doing what we were doing, we also had to get really real with each other and allow us to look at our businesses from an outside perspective. So one thing that we really did was we literally placed our business like in front of each other and said, here's where I'm at right now. Like, how do you see this? What strategy could I take to get to the goals that I'm trying to attain? And that was something that was incredibly eye-opening to me, because when we look at our business every single day, we're so used to staring at the same thing. And guys, like those spots that you need to fill can just like look so crazy until you have someone come in and say, do you realize like this person's shining and this person's shining, and oh my gosh, place them here. Or we just started to really mastermind each other's businesses, and it actually helped me grow because I was taking the focus off of my business so much and I was helping her do it. And then, light bulb moment, I could do that then in my business. And it just tag teamed off of each other the entire year. So we really were able to give a different eye of strategy to building. And that really came with rank. Both of us needed to build to 5-star diamonds in our last calendar year. And we pretty much came down to the wire of it being the last final phase of those last 6 weeks of the year for us to do it. So we had a time limit. We didn't have time to waste. So we were able to kind of really mastermind and do it quickly, which was really awesome. And then also, we were just thinking of different things. She had an idea that I would have never thought of. These are ideas that we used to keep to ourselves. It almost became that thing where we thought we had to run our own race. Her and I are both like the kind of person, when we get stressed, we alienate, and like we try to just do it all so quickly and so intensely. But like sharing our ideas back and forth made it fun again. And it made me feel like I was working with someone and it was a fresh business. And if you're someone who has been in the game for a while, that is going to be like a breath of fresh air to have someone and have it be exciting, because you've been doing the same business building activities for so long that it's really nice to just get like that fresh, like, I'm gonna go create that, and like, I'm gonna try this with my team, I'm gonna go do this with my clients. And it was really, really refreshing. So looking at each other's businesses from an outside point of view was huge. And then we had to form vision.
Yeah, so vision, I mean, we create a vision with everything. In our business strategies, like Lindsay was just talking about, like, she was really awesome for me. Like, I am not a graphic, like, break it all down, create a vision. Like, I'm not like that. And she helped me become that. And she helped me. And I think this is the coolest thing about a success partner is you can share with them your biggest, wildest dreams and goals in the business. And then you can together, like, take that overwhelm of like, oh, holy crap, I have to be a 5-star diamond and I need to get 20 coaches of success club. I mean, it wasn't really that, but it felt like that. And it's overwhelming. And you're like, holy shit, how am I ever going to do that? And if you paint a visual together and like take pictures of it and snap it and like send it to one another to hold each other accountable, that is like so important, guys. And that accountability is awesome. But beyond just like a vision, like a business plan vision in front of your face, you have to create visions that are bigger than that too. So Lindsay and I, like when we were at the lowest of lows, like pushing at the end of the year, Lindsay was sending a message. She goes, well, actually, I mean, like we have a hair appointment for Elite Night at Summit, so you better start working harder. Like literally visions like that. And like our backgrounds of our computers were like the stage at Summit, like, and we could visualize like literally holding hands and walking across that stage as elite coaches together. And that visual, like making sure each other are totally in tune with like your real vision, like what you really want out of it, is really, really important. And we just held each other to that. And I think that a lot of times if you just do this by yourself, if you lock up, if you just like try to do it all alone, you lose sight of that stuff. So, you know, just having someone there to like say, hey, I know it's hard today, but guess what, sister, like you are walking across that stage on July 11th or whatever day it is, and we did it together. And you know, you need those reminders, and that was really important. And kind of just wrapping, and Lindsay will probably chime in here too, but we just had to be consistently real with each other this whole entire time. So I think the hardest thing for me with finding success partners in the past is it was always just like, I don't know if you guys have ever experienced this, but I find somebody, we'd have really similar goals, but then every time we talked, it was just like a complaining session or like a bitch mode. And it was like, oh, like we just would complain about everything going wrong, but there was no solution oriented in the background of that. Like we would just complain and then we wouldn't talk anymore. Like we're like, yeah, me too, what was me? And then we've never had like a plan to move forward. And what Lindsay and I were able to come up with really well this year is realizing there's going to be days, probably honestly more days than not, but it's going to be really hard. And you're going to hit the road there, the blocks and the bumps, the roads and everything. But we always started our conversation as an open book to like, yes, share those struggles. Yes, share what was frustrating us, but with the intent to always make it better and to always have a solution by the end of our conversation. So Lindsay, you can add to that? I don't know. I just kind of rolled.
Yeah, no, and I think it's really important to keep in mind, like, we were trusting each other, that we were each doing what we needed to do to fill our own cup. Like, I knew Leisel was doing personal development, so she was going to be able to show up for me. And I was doing personal development, so I could show up for her. We were eating on point. We weren't, damaging our bodies. We were doing our workouts. We were doing all of the things that took us being our best self to show up for each other. And so that's kind of a thing that you have to take really seriously when you pick a success partner. You have to know that you can't just come up with like strengths for them. Like you have to be able to get those. I mean, how many times can we say, Leisel, like we came up with our advice because of our personal development book that we were reading. You know, you get a sentence and all of a sudden you have this like aha moment, and you can use that personal development on someone else. And so it's really important that you do time to fill your own cup and understand that like you cannot progress to the next level of yourself if you plan to just stay who you were when you came into this business. You have to consistently be working at it. And yeah, like that really touched base with me when she was talking about just complaining, because we are family, and like we all love a good complain sesh, right? And like we totally had those. Like we complained, we talked about stuff, like we got mad, we cried, we did all of those things. So I'm not saying like you can't have that type of relationship, but like we always came in it with the intention that we were going to make it better. And even if we saw like, I mean, seriously, at least I can't even count it on two hands the amount of breakdowns like we had, like where we were like literally freaking out, and we had to be that voice of reason for them too and say, listen, like go take a break, go put your phone in your desk. Like we always knew that perfect time to say, no, like you aren't going to take back on your goals. Or we knew when we were like, please go take a chill pill and like don't touch base with anyone until tomorrow morning because you're like useless and I love you, but like go take a deep breath, you know? So understand that like you're going to have to kind of like really push someone out of their comfort zone and also be able to like reel them back in so that they can be their best self too. But that was like our progression, and like we really did. I mean, we seriously evolved together. And you might even have somebody in mind right now that like you know that will be a great success partner for you, and you might even be thinking about like, oh, that's the point that we're at right now. Like we have to break through that. But there is no better gift than doing it beside someone and succeeding with someone and understanding that like we'll do that again this year and we'll duplicate that. Then we can also duplicate that with our teams. So when you're having successful relationships with others, you can model that with your teams and show them what that looks like. So it's really important that you cultivate that and understand like we are a community. I sit at my desk all day. I look at my brick wall. Like I have to reach out. I have to surround myself with people who are like-minded, or I'm literally going to go crazy. So make sure you do that for yourself this year, guys. It's really, really important. And that's it. Sorry.
No, my gosh, that was so good. These are just such basic ideas, but the one thing that you said that was such like an aha for me, and Megan and I work pretty closely together, you know, we have for over a year, and even last year when we were both working towards Elite at the very end, we were both like, all right, we're doing this together. This is not happening unless we both do it. And the one thing though that you said that I think is so key is that you have to ask yourself, is your success partner rooted in basics too? So you trusted Leisel was doing her workouts. You trusted Leisel was, you know, doing her personal development, and, you know, and likewise, because I think a lot of times if we're working with somebody who isn't doing what they need to do, it's going to bring us down. So really making sure that if you want a good success partner, you actually have to show up as a good success partner and actually be that person that other people want to be around, like you want to be with as well. So that was one thing you said, and just I really kind of summarized it as like asking for actual feedback. It's not just a whining session or this isn't working. And I mean, like, and Megan and I are like this too. Like, we'll get frustrated. Like right now, we can't figure out why we can't tag people on Facebook, and it's driving us insane. But the first thing that we do is we go, okay, so what do we do instead? Okay, what are we going to do instead? And that was such a good point, is like actually asking for feedback and then bringing it back to your own business. So you're giving Leisel, or Liesel's giving you advice, and then you're saying, oh, wait, I need to take my own advice. I'm going to do that right now. So that's so true, is sometimes it's just like verbally working it out is that with someone that actually works it out for yourself too. And then making it fun again, and then create that vision together. So I loved your story of making those hair appointments for Elite Night. And for new coaches who are on this, Elite Night is a night, the night before Summit really kicks off, that elite coaches are invited to this party, and they just, they do an amazing, the corporate like side of everyone, they just do this amazing job of treating the elite coaches to an amazing event. And you guys had that in your mind, like, we are going to be there. And so I actually would encourage all of you guys, as your call to action is like, what can you do now that makes sure that you're speaking truth into your future? Like, what is the one thing that you can say, like, whether it's your vision of where you're walking on stage at Summit, or if it's an event that you want to attend, or if it's that rank that you're working towards, whether it's diamond or it's emerald, or how is that going to actually feel? And your success partner should know what that vision is. And that's kind of like the biggest takeaways that I had, but I really want to open it up for questions. And I do have one question for you that I'm curious about with this, because it sounds like you two were on board with your vision, and you guys can ask your questions in the chat too. It sounds like you guys were on board with your visions, but how did you get your teams involved to be part of your vision?
You want to go?
We literally unmuted at the same time.
We're like, yeah, of course we did.
Go ahead, Lisa, you can go first.
All right. Well, first and foremost, like, I think, like, one of the things that I appreciated the most about Lindsay is we let each other literally into each other's businesses. So she knew every single coach that counted for me for the lead. She knew everybody's Success Club numbers. I knew the exact same about like her team. We really knew everything and anything about each other's team. So, you know, when I was like trying, like when I was feeling defeated as a mentor or something like that to a certain coach, she would say, you know what, let me try to reach out to her and give her advice in a different way. Maybe if that coach heard from me, it might give her a little momentum. Maybe if I gave her this tip, the exact same way you did, but you know how it goes, guys. Like, if you hear from somebody else, sometimes it just like clicks in a different way. So I really always value that about each other, that we could give that advice. You know, we could reach out to the rest of our team. But the other thing that was crazy awesome, when we were really pushing in December, Lindsay helped me create some visuals for our team to help them see like the big picture and how they all played a really important part in us achieving our elite goals for the end of the year. She went into my team page and literally like lit the fire under my coaches, and just told them like how important they were, how hard, like she gave a different perspective to them, like what we were really doing and working like behind the scenes to help them realize like we put a lot of work into this and we needed them too. And suddenly it became this big, awesome team effort. And that's how we did it. Like, it just because my team sees Lindsay as another mentor, but also as a teammate. So that was a really cool thing. And Lindsay, you can totally like jump right in. I'm just thinking like how you helped me, but
yeah, no, I think that it was really amazing just to allow people to see that what part they had in this. Like I think so often like we underestimate Success Club, and like Success Club is like this thing that like you either really want it and you make it a non-negotiable, or it's like this thing that like you just kind of play around with all month long. And I needed my team to see that like I literally needed them to hit Success Club for our elite goal to happen. And so I just broke it down and I showed them, you know, on a sheet of paper. their name and then 3 boxes. And they saw, you know, as you fill in each of those boxes, that's the name and that's 2 Success Club points. And when you reach that, guess what? I get to color your box in and that's 2 elite points. But if you don't hit it and it's only 2 or it's 4, I don't get to color your box in. So like, show up, you know? And so that's the thing, is that I constantly touch base with them behind the scenes and showed them where they were standing and showed them, I see where you are at right now. Like this whole like racing to the finish every single last week of the month, we've got to stop doing that. You know, look at what you could take that 6 and you can make it 12 if you actually put intensity into your business, and then you have, you know, paid leads for Success Club 10. So they really saw where they played a part, and then we really were able to actually celebrate together, because I wasn't pulling that invisible thread of like getting them along. They wanted to show up for the team. So I think that if you can show your teammates like that they play a part in this big vision, that's really what made it happen.
Cool, that's super helpful. Do you guys have any other questions for these girls?
I was just gonna add, I love that visual, but I think everyone can apply that, like even not elite, but like if you're going for Emerald, letting your first coach know that like you're Emerald, or like what role they play, or if your coach shouts you out for advancing to Emerald, let those people know, be like, I know this doesn't mean much to you, but when you joined as a coach under me, you were actually what gave me that Emerald piece, or a piece of that. And when you're going for Diamond and you're looking for 2 more Emeralds to get your Diamond, letting those people know, like, you're all helping me fill these boxes when you join me. That way they do feel, whether they're a customer or a coach, wherever they are, that they feel like they're a part of your team. I actually really like that, Lindsay, that idea of a visual and coloring the box in as they get closer. Because I do think we do tend to think like, we don't want to tell people like you have to hit Success Club, but like that is what it comes down to. But for me, I love knowing the role I played in my coach getting to elite. Like I thought that was the coolest thing when like she ranked advanced in stars, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I went Diamond, she went from 6 to 7. That was me. I was her 7th star. Like to me, knowing that I gave her that was like the coolest thing. So make sure your people know what role they're playing for you. So you're, like you said, not pulling this invisible string along where they don't know what you're even trying to get to. I really like that.
Yeah.
And that's so important as far as people wanting to stay in the game too. Like if they understand like that they play a vital role in your success, they want you to be successful because they love you. You're helping them. So like I had so many people reach out to me and be like, hey, like I was going to postpone my Shakeology, but is that okay? Is that going to affect you in a negative way? Like they actually cared because they understood like their place mattered. And they also didn't just ghost out on me. You know, they like, it's like they are in longevity. So it is really important. And guys, celebrate the crap out of hitting Emerald. That's huge. Like if you're Emerald right now, like it's major. And like celebrate with your team and know that even if you just have one client right now, like you're doing all the things that we all had to do to get to where we are too. So celebrate every little moment.
I love that. I do. So you guys, do you guys have any other questions from them? Both of them are members of our bigger umbrella team, the Dream Team too. So I'm sure that you guys can find them in the Dream Team coach page if you guys have questions or if you think of something later. But I really, really want you guys to think about the idea of a success partner, and not just I need a success partner, who should it be? But what am I looking for in a success partner? And really getting real with yourself and saying, you know, am I doing the things that a success partner deserves too? And I really want you to start thinking about what type of person you want to partner up with, the type of person who's going to push you even when it's not comfortable, the type of person who's going to motivate you and encourage you, and who is doing the business activities that you're like, I know that they're speaking my language, and I also know that they expect me to be doing those same things. I really want by the next couple of weeks, like just to really start thinking about who can I partner up with in this business that I really respect the way that they're running it, and that someone maybe I'm at the same sort of like kind of spot with them, not even necessarily with rank, but just in terms of what your priorities are and what your goals are with the business. That's really what you want to start thinking about. So Megan, I don't have anything else. Do you have anything else tonight?
Nope. I know Katie covered it at the beginning. Just make sure everyone who wants on a team cup gets on a team cup. That's the biggest thing. Registration closes Thursday.
Cool. All right, guys, that is all we have. I hope you guys have a great night, and thank you so much, Leisel and Lindsay. So proud of you. Congratulations on this amazing year. So, all right, guys, have a great night.